My wife told me she was lonely, and I thought being in the same room was enough. I was wrong, and now I am the one who is alone. She told me on a Thursday evening in November of 1987, not dramatically, not in tears, not after a fight or a crisis or a moment that announced itself as significant. She told me the way Margaret told me everything that truly mattered, quietly, almost in passing. The way you say something when you have been waiting so long to say it that by the time you finally do, the urgency has burned down to something that sounds almost casual. We were in the kitchen. She was making tea. I was reading something at the table. She had her back to me. She said, "Harold, I feel lonely sometimes." I said, She said, "Not sometimes. Often. I feel lonely often." I put down what I was reading. I looked at her back. I said, "You have the children. You have your work. You have Carol next door and the women from the school." She turned around. She looked at me. She said, "Harold, I feel lonely with you." I did not know what to do with that sentence. So I said the thing I always said when something made me uncomfortable. I said, "I am right here." She turned back to the kettle. She did not say anything else. Neither did I. That was November of 1987. She told me again in March of 1992. Different words, same sentence. She told me again in 1998. That is the one I have talked about before, standing in the kitchen, her back to me. 11 years, she said. 3 times in 11 years she told me she was lonely with me. 3 times I did not hear it the way it needed to be heard. She passed in 2021. I have been alone since then, and lonely in a way that is completely different from anything I experienced before she was gone. Because the loneliness I feel now is not the absence of company. It is the presence of understanding. I finally understand what she was telling me. And there is no one left to tell. My name is Harold Voss. I am 84 years old. My heart is running at 38%. Today I am not talking to you. I am talking to the Harold who was sitting at that kitchen table in November of 1987 with something in his hands that was less important than anything Margaret was about to say. But I think you need to hear it too. Before I go any further, I need to ask you something. Has anyone in your life ever told you they feel lonely with you? Not lonely in general. With you. While you are in the room. Write yes or no in the comments. And if the answer is yes, write how long ago it was. Because the gap between when they said it and right now is the gap that still has something in it. Harold, you are 43 years old, and you are sitting at a kitchen table and your wife is about to say the most important thing she has said to you in 11 years of marriage, and you are going to miss it. Not because you are cruel. Not because you do not love her. Not because you are incapable of hearing it, because you have spent 43 years learning to process discomfort by filing it, by receiving difficult information and converting it immediately into a problem that can be addressed practically and therefore does not have to be felt. She is lonely with you. Your brain is going to hear that as a logistics problem, a scheduling problem, a problem of insufficient quality time that can be solved with a weekend away or a standing dinner reservation or a more deliberate effort to be home by 7 on Tuesdays. It is not a logistics problem, it is a presence problem, and the difference between those two things is the difference between a husband who hears his wife and a husband who manages her. You are about to manage her. Stop. Just stop for a moment before you say, "I am right here." Because "I am right here" is the loneliest thing you can say to a woman who just told you she feels lonely with you. It tells her that you heard the words and missed the meaning. It tells her that the version of you that is right here is exactly the version she is lonely with. It tells her that you believe your physical presence is the same as your emotional presence. It is not. It has never been. And she has known that for 11 years. The first thing I want to tell you is about what loneliness in a marriage actually means. It does not mean she does not love you. It does not mean the marriage is failing. It does not mean she wants to leave or that someone else is filling the space you have left empty. It means she can feel the distance between who you are when you are performing and who you actually are when the performance stops. She married the second one. She has been living with the first one. And she is telling you tonight that the distance between them has become something she feels in her body every day. Not as anger, not as resentment, not even as sadness necessarily, just as a specific and persistent absence of something she expected to be there when she married a man she loved. She expected to be known, not perfectly, not completely, not in every moment, just known in the way that two people who have chosen each other know each other, in the way that makes being in the same room feel like company rather than proximity. She is not in company with you, Harold. She is in proximity, and she has been for a long time. The second thing I want to tell you is about why you are going to keep missing it even after tonight. You are going to hear what Margaret said, and you are going to feel something, not nothing, something real, guilt maybe, or a kind of sad recognition, or the particular discomfort of a man who suspects he has been doing something wrong for a long time and has just been told directly. And then you are going to do what you do with feelings that are real but inconvenient. You are going to work. Not immediately, not obviously. But within 48 hours of this conversation, you are going to be back inside the pattern. The project, the meeting, the thing that requires your full attention and therefore provides a legitimate reason for the attention to be elsewhere. And the feeling will fade. Not because it was not real, because you are very good at fading feelings that inconvenience the operation. You have been doing it for 20 years, and the operation will keep running, and Margaret will keep being lonely, and you will keep being right here, and 11 years from now she will be standing at the same counter with her back to you, and she will say it again, with the word 11 in it. Harold, do not let her get to 11. Do not let her stand at that counter with her back to you and count the years. The third thing I want to tell you is the simplest and the hardest. You cannot fix loneliness in a marriage by being present more often. You can only fix it by being present differently. More often is a logistics solution. Differently is a presence solution. And differently means this. When you are in the room with Margaret tonight, after she turns back to the kettle and the silence settles between you, do not leave the room. Do not pick up what you were reading. Do not find something that needs doing elsewhere in the house. Sit with the silence. Let it be uncomfortable. And then say something true. Not something that addresses the problem. Not something that proposes a solution. Not I am right here, or we should plan a weekend, or I know I have been working too much lately. Something true. Something from underneath the managed surface. Something like, Margaret, I do not know how to be present the way you need me to be present, and that frightens me. That sentence, that one sentence would have changed the next 30 years, not fixed them, not resolved everything, but changed them, because it would have told her that you had heard her, not the logistics of what she said, the actual meaning, that she was lonely with you because you were not fully there, and that you knew it, and that it frightened you, and that you were willing to say so out loud in the kitchen on a Thursday evening in November instead of filing it away and waiting for it to get easier. It does not get easier, Harold. It gets more expensive. Every year you do not say the true thing, the cost of saying it goes up. And eventually the cost becomes so high that you convince yourself it is too late to pay it. It is never too late. I said it eventually. In a hospital room in 2021 with Margaret's hand in mine and no performance left to maintain. She heard it. She said she knew. She said she had always known. That is the part that gets me when I sit in my chair by the window in the mornings. Not that I said it too late. That she always knew. that she had been carrying the knowledge of who I was underneath the performance for 51 years, the frightened parts, the uncertain parts, the parts I kept just out of reach because keeping them out of reach felt like the only way to remain the man everyone needed me to be. She knew they were there. She just wanted me to show her I knew they were there too. And I waited until she was dying to do it. Here is my second question for today. Is there someone in your life right now who is lonely with you? Not lonely in general. With you. You know the answer before you finish reading that sentence. Do not file it. Do not convert it into a scheduling problem or a quality time initiative or a weekend away. Say the true thing. Tonight. In whatever kitchen you are standing in. Whatever silence has settled between you. Say the thing underneath the managed surface. Let it be uncomfortable. Because the discomfort of saying it tonight is nothing compared to the weight of carrying it for 30 more years, and finally saying it when the only response left is, she always knew. I love you, Margaret. I should have shown you that more completely. I am showing you now the only way I still can. To everyone listening, go find your kitchen. Go find your Thursday evening in November. It is not too late. Not yet. I am not done yet.